In this video, we are talking about how to plan for your future, even if you have no idea what you are doing. So let's be honest, no one really teaches you how to plan for your future. Most of us are just winging it, panic scrolling, or just really avoiding thinking about it altogether, which I tend to see a lot. So if you're in your 20s and you feel lost and behind or overwhelmed, by all the decisions you're supposed to be making and trying to figure out your life and your future, this video is for you. All right. I'm not here to give you a 10-year plan. I'm just going to walk you through how I help my clients get a clear, get like clear on their future, basically, using questions that touch every part of your life, not just your career, in order to really make changes for your future. So you have time to reflect on your past and current situation. So, the biggest thing that I see before we dive into the questions is that um, in your 20s, we're so wrapped up about like our future and what we need to be doing, but we don't give ourselves the space. The majority of us don't give us the space to actually dream and think about what we actually want for our future and more specific. So, of course, like ideally, I would say the majority of people would say, I want to have a nice career that I love. I want to have money in my savings and I want to be in a good relationship. But what do those things actually look like to you? And that's where we need to dive deeper because when you ask more specific questions about your future and what you want, the clearer you're going to be. And the clearer you are, the more able you are to take action towards those things because it's specific, it's not just this generalized idea. So I have a couple sections of life that we're going to talk about, and there's about 3 to 4 questions with each one. I do think that it is a good idea to listen to this, come back to it, get a piece of paper, pen, do it and pause through the videos. This video is really going to be like a journal prompt, an extended journal prompt for you. So you can use parts of this now, you can use parts of it later, you can go through all of it, maybe on a Saturday morning. It just depends on what works for you. Okay. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about things. I'm going to give you questions that you need to actually ask yourself. And then possibly some examples as well. Okay. So the first section that we're diving into is career and lifestyle stuff. So this is really like how you view success in your 20s, and just really aligning yourself and becoming more self-aware of what you want. The biggest thing is it's not always about titles or where you live and how aesthetic your life looks on social media. It's really what feels comfortable to you and what you expect, not what society thinks you should have or your parents. Okay. So here's 3 questions that I want you to start off with when it comes to career and lifestyle stuff. The first one is, what kind of work am I doing? What kind of work am I doing and how do I feel about it? All right. These questions also need to be more in depth than just surface level. This is you and your time to journal, get it all down on paper. You don't have to say it's okay to please anybody because this is for you. So ultimately, if you're not going to be truthful with these questions, you're just not being truthful to yourself and you're not going to create the life that you want. Just being honest, okay? All right, so what kind of work am I doing and how do I feel about it? I want you to be honest, what you like, what you don't like. Just write it all down, okay? Next question I want you to ask, what are 3 things that I'm good at? This is something very important to help understand with career aspect. And if it aligns to what the work that you're doing right now, great. If not, it gives you some opportunity and ideas to think about other things for your career. Okay. Lastly, what does my day-to-day lifestyle look like? And how does it align with the kind of life I want to live? All right. What does my day-to-day lifestyle look like and how does it align with the kind of life I want to live? I want you to think about your day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. All right. Do you wake up at the ideal time that you'd want to? All right. What does your morning routine look like? Does that align with who the person you want to be in the future? Does future you just roll out of bed and brush their teeth and dive straight into their laptop for work? Or do they take time to get ready and make a healthy breakfast or whatever it might be? All right. Take time to analyze these questions and write out your responses, okay? There's no right or wrong way, but the more time you think and you reflect and the more you write down, the better and clearer it's going to be, okay? Next section is money and time. So it's really easy to feel like time and money control you in your 20s. I feel like this is a big, big, big factor. And this is really your chance to start making decisions that kind of put you in the driver's seat. Okay. Um, the way you use your time and the way you use your money can make or break your 20s and your future. 100%. If you load up credit cards and debt, you're going to be paying it off in your 30s. If you don't use your time wisely to work towards your future or where you want to be, you're going to be scrambling in your 30s at an entry level job because you didn't take the time to figure these things out. Okay? So, three questions I have for you. The first one, what would make me feel financially secure? What would make me feel financially secure? Is it a consistent or secure job that makes a stable income? Is it paying off your student loans? Is it having a house? What would make you feel financially secure? Next question. How do I want to feel about budgeting, spending, or debt? How do I want to feel about budgeting, spending, or debt? Okay. Honestly, write your thoughts down about that. No right or wrong answers. I think budgeting, spending, and debt is necessary at times, but it needs to make sure that it aligns with your life. All right. And last question, what do I want to spend my time on anymore? Or what do I not want to spend my time on anymore? Okay. Think about how you're wasting your time, what you're not in aligned with. One thing I see a lot is people are like, man, I just don't want to spend so much time scrolling on their phone, on my phone, but they still do it. So this is kind of a chance to call yourself out on ways that you're wasting your time that you just don't want to do anymore. All right. One example of that is reaching out to a friend that doesn't return the same energy. I'm not going to chase after friends that don't have the interest in, I don't want to say chasing after me, but making the effort to maintain the relationship on their side. All right. Next section, which is the last one, is wellness, mindset, and growth. Okay. So here's one part that definitely has to do with the mindset and growth piece. There are times where I go through clients, and maybe you've already gone through this with the questions that I've already asked you, where you're like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Okay. And that's going to happen sometimes. I think number one, you haven't given yourself the space to actually think about it or what's possible. But then also, you may not know the questions because you just don't have life experience, which is fine, or you may not know the answer. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I truly don't. It's just a factual place. A 25-year-old is not going to have as much life experience as a 45-year-old. It just is what it is. So, not knowing the answers to these questions requires exploration. And that's going to mean doing things maybe outside of your norm, things you may think are stupid, things that you may always wanted to try and you've just never given yourself permission to actually go out and do it. You're not going to figure out these answers until you explore what possibilities exist out there. Okay. So, this is why sometimes people avoid thinking about their future because it requires you to think about uncomfortable things. It requires you to dream a little bit, which sometimes we can get so shut down about because of the reality of life. It's going to require you just to feel a little bit uncomfortable and think about what's possible. Okay. So, last three questions for wellness, mindset, and growth. What does physical and mental health look like for me 1 year from now? So this is basically a two-part question. I want you to think about your physical health and then your mental health. What do those look like 1 year from now? All right. Maybe physical health means losing 10 pounds, being able to squat 150 pounds, getting outside and walking a couple times a week. Doesn't matter. What does that look like to you? All right. Mental health. What does that look like to you 1 year from now? Maybe it's being able to manage your stress better, having a more positive outlook on life. Not so having a better internal dialogue so I'm not like just beating myself down or talking poorly to myself all the time. All right, question number 2. What would bring me more peace, confidence, or fulfillment? What would bring me more peace, confidence, or fulfillment? Write down those answers. Think about, oh, I thought I was going to sneeze for a second. Sorry. Think about hobbies. Think about how you spend your free time. Think about your job. Think about your family, your relationships, your money, how you use your time. That's kind of an all-encompassing question there for sure. All right. And last question, what do I want to believe about myself? What do I want to believe about myself in who I am and who I want to be in the future? One thing I instantly thought of that I had for myself when I was kind of going through this in my 20s, especially in difficult moments, the one thought that I always had and still have actually to this day is I can do hard things. That's what I believe about myself. I can do hard things. And when things get tough, I can do hard things. Right? So, right now, you don't need a 10-step plan. You just need clarity, you need intention, and really the courage to take one step at a time, to dream about these questions, to write down answers that may make you feel uncomfortable or may make you believe like that's not possible. It totally is, but you have to give yourself the space to dream and become more aware and answer those questions. All right. So, a little bit of encouragement for you. You're not behind, you're just beginning. And asking these questions is part of the work. Okay. If this helped you reflect on your future, let me know in the comments. What aha moments did you have? I probably have like 50 other questions, to be quite honest, diving in more into your future where we get super specific about things. Use this video as a journal guide this week. Come back to it anytime you need to realign. And if you want to dive future, or if you want to dive more into your future, and you want assistance doing that, reach out to me. I work with my clients one-on-one. I do offer custom coaching programs to fit your needs. So how long you'd like to work together, what the frequency is, costs, what you're able to financially handle. That we work together to figure that out, because I'd rather see you succeed than get held back because of financial constraints or anything else. So the first step is to scheduling a free consultation call with me. You can do that in the link below. Go to my website, go to social media. Those links are all there. And other than that, take some time on these questions. Have an awesome one.